Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Hey, Vanna, how are you? So, we're about to get into the Never Ever Mets. And I must say, this episode, baby, we saw the clownery come out. And we also saw a lot of reversal in roles because Aaron was popping his neck and twisting his neck like he was Diamond. I was a little confused, but we're going to get into that, okay? So, yes, first things first, hit the like button on the way in. What's up, Lansky? Yes, what's up, Shayla? We about to talk about this because, yeah, gets a little crazy on this episode. So, we're going to get into the Never Ever Met season 1, episode 5, The Love Hangover. So, as predicted from the last episode, we see that Sienna and Brandon are called by the host and pretty much says, well, Brandon, based on what we talked about the last time, you said there's no way to actually save this intimate relationship. So goodbye. Get the hell on. There's no point of you being here. Adios. So they're out. And we actually talked about that the last episode because what was the point of them being there? We predicted Sienna and Brandon, and we also predicted Jody and door knocker wearing earrings, Aaron. And I think they're next too. But definitely one of our predictions came to light. Sienna and Brandon had to go. And Brandon, baby, you're free. You are free, honey. You are free to move about the country, okay? You ain't got to deal with her ever again. He can say that he can want to keep a friendship with her. I think he lying. I don't think he ever want to see her again, talk to her again. He's probably going to block her number. So good job, Aaron. You can go. Now, the question that I have for y'all is, do you think Sienna has actually learned something from this? I think she's still going to be the same hothead who literally claims that everybody else is the bitch and the problem but her. Hey, Michelle. I think that's what's going to happen is that she's still going to continue to be who she is. Like I told you guys before, it's your 20s and your 30s. It's your 20s and your 30s where you really work on all of the inner shit that you have to work on. If you still haven't worked on it by your 40s, not saying that it's impossible, but it's hard to really change your ways at that point. Hey, Nene. Hey, birthday girl. For those who were not here earlier, you guys, it's Nene's birthday. Say happy birthday to Nene. So, yeah. So, Sienna and Brandon had to go. They claim they're going to do things differently if they do online dating. Yeah, after this, Sienna, good luck with finding a date, honey. Because if they watch this show, baby, you really about to get it in every single date that you're probably on. So moving on. So this is the next day, apparently, and the host comes in to the house or in the kitchen and tells them they're going on a field trip. But Diamond, baby, yes, I was glad to see Sienna go too. Yes, deuces, Sienna. Yes, yes. Diamond, honey, Diamond is still pissed off from the night before and how no one stood up and defended her when she said, it's not just me talking, it's everybody talking. So she's just completely disgusted. So she goes into a separate room to eat her food. And of course, Aaron comes in and he's like, I know something's wrong with you. And she's like, look, I don't want to be around no fake people. Okay. And she was like, when I was sitting up there explaining everything, all of y'all stood there quiet, including you. Now, my thing is this, Diamond, what the hell did you expect? And she also implied that Jody is still speaking to everyone else except for her. Well, you were the messenger, sweetheart. You were the messenger. You know what they say about the messenger. So at the end of the day, you should have just minded your own damn business. That's what you should have done. But the fact that you didn't want to do it, the fact that no one had your back, to me, this is my thing. If you're going to put yourself out there, I think you should automatically expect that no one's going to have your back. When you're willing to put yourself in someone else's business on your own, expect that no one's going to have your back. Now, I do understand that she expected her man to have her back, but you're dealing with a man who, again, played you via Facebook proposing to another woman while y'all was together. I don't see what you're expecting from him, in all honesty. But when she says, look, I'm questioning you too. You fake as hell. Okay? You fake as hell. And baby, she just had to say fake. Next thing you know, he morphed into, child, I don't know what it was. Cause should I say Wanda mixed with Shanae? Like when I tell you that I did not see a 51-year-old grown man who was talking. Next thing I know, he walks into the kitchen. He's like, I got something to say. I got something to say. I got something to say. Because you know what I'm saying? My woman Diamond thinking I ain't protecting her. But let me tell you something. Jody. I ain't never liked you and you full of shit. I ain't never liked you and you full of shit. And I was like, whoa. She's still a woman. Calm down. And when we find out that she's like 31 years old and he's 51 years old, I'm like, she's old enough to be your child. You're old enough to be her daddy. Calm down. So he goes into, I ain't never liked y'all. I think you're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And yes, Diamond was right. Everybody was talking about you. And I was just like, do y'all see the neck swerving and moving and popping and flopping? And I was like, oh no. It was giving Shanae like, hold up. That's what it was giving. And so Jody was like, I feel the same way. The feeling is mutual. Like, it is what it is. And so at that point, he says, yes, everyone was talking about you, but let me tell you something now, Aaron with the dangling earrings, pretty much says, look, that woman ain't for you. And I'm telling you with my 51 years of experience that she ain't for you. And before you leave here, you're going to take my number because I'm going to tell you within a year, you're going to tell me that y'all didn't work out. And I'm like, for you to say that you are 51 years old and you have so much experience, why are you still single and still dealing with a woman that you have been on the internet going back and forth with for how many years? Wasn't they at least 5 years? In your grown age, you have all of this experience. See, this is one thing that I can't stand. And again, I understand that with age comes wisdom, but with age doesn't mean you know every damn thing. Clearly you don't, otherwise your life will be figured out. Hell, clearly if you don't, you would at least be married. If you had everything figured out, you would at least be married. You playing between both women on the internet. So how much would I even bother listening to you about your experience, especially with relationships, when you can't figure it out your damn self? So sometimes older people need to take a step back and realize that they need to humble themselves. They don't know everything. And maybe, just maybe, you can also learn from younger people as well. I'm just saying. Child, yes, he did. Into straight up Captain Super Messy. I can't take a man who paints their nails with, oh my gosh, does he paint his nails? I ain't even noticed that. But he was popping that neck. And I was like, ew. But the crazy part about it is Diamond was looking like she was proud, like my man. And he was like, I felt like I got a belt for that because she knew I was there. And he went into the closet. The actual closet, y'all. The actual closet. He went into the closet to see Diamond like, bang. Like he was super proud. Like, look what I did. And she was acting all proud. Like, I don't know what got into him, but I liked it. Girl, it's too late. If that man didn't protect you from the gate, it's too late. You shouldn't have to complain to him for him to realize that he should have had your back. He didn't have your back because he felt like you was being super messy. And he decided to sit up there and be super duper messy and look like he had too much feminine energy. That's what it looked like to me. But with that being said, OMG, you have got to be kidding me. Ugh. I said, what in the world, Jada, is going on here? Oh my gosh. I haven't in, I pay close attention to detail, but I think I was too busy focused on his neck popping the way it was. He's staycation with her for a few days. Now he thinks he's ready to marry. Right. But married to who? The other woman he proposed to, a diamond. How about that? So at this point, this chaos is going on because it's truly clownery chaos. How you doing? Look at his face, y'all, in this picture. After after Aaron sat up there and told him everything about that's not the woman for him and he needs to watch it, X, Y, and Z. This is the face that he makes. Lord help him. Okay, moving on. Look at her. Yes. Here's the thing. We are living in this day and age where mannerisms, I don't even know anymore if we can really determine mannerisms on what is someone's preference. Because you have a lot of metro males who actually do like women. I just wouldn't be able to deal with a man like that. Like I said, I loved Prince as a musician. But could I date a Prince? Hell no. I'm not going to sit up there and be getting my nails done with my man, him getting the same press out, blowout like me. No, it ain't happening. Yes, I did, honey. I sure did. I sure did. Michelle said he ain't one of them. Who I'm gonna have to ask my friends. They can usually spot in a minute, like, yeah, he ain't on your team or he is. But baby, that face, when he gave this face, I said, how you doing? How you doing? So moving on. Then we get this passive aggressive asshole by the name of Chris. And after all of that chaos and what was said, he says, everyone that's talking bad about Jody, on the record, I just want to say, I've never said anything bad about her. I've never said anything bad about her. He points directly at Jody, and then he was like, can you say I said something bad about her? Greg, can you say I said something bad about her? Then he goes to Millie. He's like, Millie, can you say I said something bad about her? Millie goes in. Millie's like, I don't give a shit. I said, ooh. Millie's triggered. What happened here? What's going on? And the whole entire time, as you can see, Sandia, she ain't saying nothing. She just looking. And again, I just think it's in her nature. She does not rock the boat. And Chris knows that. That's why he picked her in the first place. That is who she is. But Millie, baby, she's like, okay, you want to go there? Let's go there. And she was like, first of all, you so busy trying to protect Jody and trying to say, and Chris made sure he said that Jody, I think he really wanted to say Jody is, I think he said she is the favorite person or one of the favorite people that he has in that house. And Millie's like, see, that's your damn problem. You so quick to protect Jody and you ain't even protecting your own woman. Who's really the favorite person in your house? I mean, in this house. And so she gets up. She's like, I'm over the fake shit. She was like, at the end of the day, Jody, you ain't even said anything nice about your own man. You haven't said anything nice about him. Chris, you protect Jody more than a woman that you brought here. She was like, I'm over this fake shit. And I said, ooh, Millie went in. Okay, she went in. I said, okay, Millie, I'm here for this. She's like, I'm over it. At the end of the day, they feel like Jody is just there for the camera. She's not there for anything else. And I think it's obvious. I think at this point, what's going to happen is production is just going to tell them to leave. We don't see chemistry. Y'all barely talk. You can go. I think that's what's going to happen next. So she's like, I'm over it. I'm over this nonsense. And then, of course, this passive aggressive piece of shit, because my thing is just because you don't get loud doesn't mean you're not being a condescending passive aggressive asshole. You see what I mean? Like he feels like because he doesn't raise his voice that he's still not being snarky and disrespectful. And I don't like people like that, especially men in that behavior. So he's like, I'm not about to argue with a woman. And I was like, see, Sandia, you got a problem on your hands because he truly thinks a woman is beneath him, not his equal or someone he needs to protect. I can see a man feeling like he has to protect a woman. He feels women are beneath him because he was like, with a smirk on his face, I'm not about to argue with the woman. And Millie's like, you don't want to call me out, pointing at each and every one of us. And I'm just telling you how it is. And he says, Greg, get your woman. I think he even said, put your woman in check. I said, oh no, check your girl. I said, oh no, really, Chris? Really, Chris? You going there? And Greg was like, nah, she good. Like, she good. She can handle herself. And if need be, I will make sure I handle you. That's the way Greg was looking. I said, that's what I'm talking about, Greg. That's what I'm talking about. Sandy the whole entire time not saying nothing. And neither is Jody. Jody, like, really just needs to be honest in the situation and stop the BS. Like, I'm so turned off by Jody and Chris. Maybe they do need to be together and be destructive and be a freaking sinking ship together, because both of them have the worst attitudes. They do. So at that point, when that happens, Chris just walks away. Next thing you know, we see Chris and Sandia talking in another room, and he's like, I don't understand what's going on. And Sandia was like, I mean, everybody was screaming and yelling or whatever. And he was like, I mean, as long as you're good. And I'm like, she's told you she's not good. So you're gaslighting her again. Like, you know that she's not good. She's told you that she is not good. He's like, as long as you're good, and, you know, I know that you're not, I know that you don't, you know, you're not a person who likes to yell and scream. You're not confrontational. I'm like, yeah, that's why you picked her. That's really why you picked her. So he was like, you know, as long as you're good, you're fine. She didn't say nothing. She actually looked away. She's not good. She's not good. And I really hope that she understands that she is constantly going to have to deal with this man never respecting her opinion, valuing her opinion, none of that. He just wants her to shut up and take care of the house. That's the vibes that he gives me. So with that being said, they end up telling them they need to go, you know what, I'm going to go back to the damn field trip, which honestly, the field trip was kind of boring to me. They go on this field trip and they have this tie. They tie each other up. Either somebody needs to be tied or the other person is doing the tying. Apparently, it's supposed to be about communication, trust. I don't know. I thought it was stupid. I don't know about y'all, but I was like, what the hell does this have to do with anything? But in the process of that, you literally have Aaron trying to take authority because he's trying to find, I guess, any way. And I'm talking about Aaron with the door knocker earrings. He's trying to find any way to connect with this girl. And he's like, you do the time or I'll do the time or something like that. And she was like, you telling me what to do? This is Jody. You telling me what to do? Jody, you were just coming off like a miserable ass female. And come to find out, what's so crazy is she said that she is a freaky tale therapist or expert. She is an expert in this. I guess she actually, I don't know if she actually gets paid for it, but she claims because of her traumas in her past, it has helped her be able to release that and heal from that. I don't see that you're healed, my dear. I don't see that you're healed. And if you claim that you love to do that type of work so much, even if you don't even like him in that way, I figured you would be excited to do something like that because that's your area of expertise. I don't know what the hell is wrong with Jody. What the hell do y'all think is wrong with Jody? Like, what do you think is wrong with Jody? Because at this point, I'm like, why are you here? You don't look happy. Hey, Vanessa, you don't look happy. So why even waste your time? And so she claims when she snapped at Aaron the way that she did, she said that, you know, he knows the trauma that I've gone through. So, you know, he can't do that. He has to give me time. And then she later on says that because of her being this therapist, She is taking her time with Aaron because she knows how she is. That as soon as she has freaky tales with someone, she's not interested anymore. And I said, you sound like a trifling ass man. I think that's the problem with Jody. She goes through life with a lot of male energy. She doesn't know how to be a lady, it seems like. She doesn't know how to put her guard down like Sienna and allow a man to be a man. But at the same time, I'm really starting to think that they were never really in a relationship from the get-go. They found an opportunity and they may have talked at one point. They knew each other from different, I don't know how they knew each other, but she or he contacted and say, hey, do you want to do this show? That's what I'm thinking at this point. There's nothing there. They can't even fake it for the show. Okay, that's the crazy part. So I think they're next. I think production is just going to tell them to go. That's just it. Even with this last exercise, they said it was about their chemistry, their communication, and how compatible they are. We clearly see they're not compatible. Mark my words. They're probably going to be the next ones to go. So moving on. Sandia and Chris, you started watching the show. You like it, Vanessa? They couldn't have had any chemistry on the phone. They definitely need to leave. Right. It seems like they was like, here's an opportunity. Let's get on TV. So Sandia and Chris talk with a relationship expert. Okay. And the relationship expert is talking to them. Sandia starts to explain. Now, I don't know, you guys. I can always be forgetful. But I haven't seen a moment yet where Sandia, even when she has talked about her frustrations on things that Chris does, she's never yelled her voice. She's very, even as far as even kill as far as her temper. So when it all goes down to it, this is what I'm saying, that Chris gaslights her. She talks about her feelings again and how, he's very friendly and different things like that. And at that point, she was saying, the lack of communication, just the things she's been saying. Then he wants to say she's super emotional. She's so emotional. Like, she's really high strung emotional. And I feel like, especially when I know I'm not doing anything, when she's talking about this stuff, I feel attacked and I'm trying to be controlled. What do you mean she's super emotional? I ain't seen that. She barely shows emotions. If anything, she's cried a little bit because she's frustrated. She is not a Sienna. She ain't even a Jody. So what are you talking about? She's super emotional. Chris is just full of shit. You know what I'm saying? He just, like, at the end of the day, if you feel that you're attacked simply because your woman or someone that you want to be your woman is trying to tell you how they feel, you don't need to be in a relationship with a human. You just need to get a puppy at this point, or a cat. Like, you don't need to be in a relationship, because where is it that she was attacking you or being super emotional when she was talking to you about her feelings? You do like it? Okay. Didn't she say she don't mind testing it out on the first night, agreeing with Chris? She wouldn't test it out on the first night? Repeat that. Hi, I am Lisa. Jody wants no parts of Aaron at all. So it's like, why are you here? Why are you here? What is the point? I think production's going to kick them off. I really do. I didn't know this was kind of like almost a game situation. I think what's going to happen is there's only going to be a couple standing, and maybe they're going to take them on a trip or whatever case may be. It kind of reminds me of Love is Blind to a certain extent. Like, there's different levels to it. I think that's what they're trying to do with this. Let me see. Pam with the bad hair. I like your name. Hello, are you guys new? Wait, I think Lisa, I've seen you before. Pam with the bad hair. Looking at them, I imagine Chris having with her like she is a right. You think so? You think so? I definitely, like, the thing is, like, I really want to tap into Sandia's her background too. But with that, Chris is more of a cat person. A dog will require too much affection. Right. Right. Like there's something troubling about him. You know what I mean? Like something troubling about him, period. And so at that point, the actual Sandia says that she wears her emotions on her face. And the relationship expert was like, that's good. So you kind of know what it is. But she tells Chris he needs to have more empathy. And at the end of the day, he needs to have empathy for how she feels in the situation, where she can have a safe place to land and feel comfortable telling you about her feelings. But he just doesn't have it in him. But at the same time, they mention his past, and I guess apparently getting hurt by another woman. Now, I would like to know the details of that situation, because I don't know. I feel like he gaslights so much. What is his version of being hurt by the other woman? She wouldn't bake his lasagna the way he likes it baked or something. Like, I don't know. To me, he's that type of petty individual. But Sandia does say he needs to let go of the past and move on. But the relationship expert says, well, at the same time, you have to have empathy too. Like, you just can't expect for him to move on. Like, he has to work through that and be able to trust again. I don't think he's ever going to trust. He trusts himself. And he just wants arm candy on his arm and call it a day. And I need to know, Lansky, are you in here? He said, we're Haitian, so we have the same values. Just because you're Haitian, does that mean that you automatically have the same values? Does that mean that you have the same values? I felt that to be very ignorant for him to say. But again, I'm not Haitian. So I need Lansky or my Haitian folks, Nene, um, to say that just because someone is Haitian, does that mean they have the same values? Let me see. She said she was down for one night. Oh, so maybe there is another side of Sandia. But hey, what she want to do in her freaky tales, that's what she want to do. Hey, Belle, you guys, this is Belle Perspective. Definitely follow her. We actually are building like a community of like actual YouTube channels where we actually support each other and really have each other's back to support each other's lives, videos. So yes, the Belle Perspective. I was on her live earlier. Now she on my live supporting me. Love and appreciate that true, real, genuine support from people, especially people who look like me. So I appreciate it. That's what they say. Oh, so that's what they say. Just because you're Haitian, automatically you have the same values and stuff. Because I don't see them having the same values. I don't see them having the same values. So I need to know. I need to be more educated in that area. I really don't know what Sandia sees in Chris. His behavior would turn me off. I think it's a cultural thing. And what I say, and it's so funny because I think I was speaking to Lansky about this, but she said she was born and raised in Haiti. I don't know where he was born and raised, but my vibes tells me that maybe he was raised here. I'm thinking culturally, of course, how you're raised in Haiti versus how you're raised out here in the US is different. So maybe it's a cultural thing being raised in Haiti on why she is the way she is, or maybe that's just her personality. So I really would like to have a deep dive on that, like, because she says not just that she was born and raised there. So I think it's just a difference. I think once she really understands how it works out here, she may say F you to Chris and keep it moving. And I hope she does. I hope she does. Hey, girl, it's kind of like how Muslims want to marry other Muslims. That's how Caribbean people want you to marry other Caribbean people. Okay, so it's not necessary. So it's a culture thing, meaning because we are both the same in that way, we just want to marry. But that doesn't mean they have the same outlook on life and how to be treated and stuff. And I think just because you're Haitian don't necessarily mean that's going to be the end all be all to make that relationship work. I think Sandia hasn't dated anyone who is attractive like Chris. Oh, you think that's the case? She's a beautiful girl, though. I don't like the way Chris looked. Chris looked like he only about 5'2". How tall is Chris? He looked like one of those Napoleon complex type of guys that he's very short. Um, And I say attractive looks because I'm like, he definitely. I've been around just now chatting, catching a live. Okay. Yeah, I thought I saw you maybe one time before, but welcome, welcome. And welcome Pam with the, I think you said Pam with the bad hair. Welcome. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. They don't act like each other at all. They don't. Which is why it's almost like he's coming off like, I just want to marry a woman who's Haitian because she's Haitian, not if we have the same outlook on how a marriage should work. You know what I mean? That's the way it's coming off to me. They're not compatible. You know, his version is, you just pretty much let me do what I'm doing and you just be a woman. That's the way it's coming off to me. I don't like him. His whole attitude and his way he rolls his eyes and looks up like, I am too good to argue with a woman. I'm not going to argue with a woman. You're beneath me. That's the way he was coming off with Millie. And Millie was like, you a bitch. And I say, yes, Millie, yes. Now, I ain't real big on calling men bitches unless they deserve it. What the hell am I talking about? How many times have I called a man a bitch on my freaking videos? But damn it, I love the fact that she put all of that in that. She said, you a bitch. Now what? Now what? And all he did was roll his eyes and kept it moving. He didn't say anything else. He wasn't, because Greg was going to be right there to ragtag his ass. Point blank, period. Because Chris don't give me vibes that he fights. He ain't about to mess up his suit. That's the vibes that he gives me. But moving on. So let's get to the final part of this episode. Okay. So Diamond's sister comes, okay, to the house, and they clearly have a great relationship. As soon as she sees her, she hugs her, and everything is all good. And so Diamond and the sister sit down, and she said, girl, you know, on our first date, he cried. He cried. And I'm thinking, like, girl, what is up with your obsession with him crying? Who cares? You know how many punk ass, sorry ass men out here will cry just for the sake of manipulating a woman? What does crying do? Like, she just loved the fact that he cried. But the way that he acts in this episode, I'm sure he cries all the time. He is just one big soggy mess. So I had to give the many faces of the sister, baby. She was just the face that kept on giving. Her face gave. All right. And every time Diamond was saying something, she made another face. And she made another face. And she was like, I don't give a shit about him. And Diamond's like, well, you haven't even had a chance to meet him. I already know how he is on that social media stuff. At the end of the day, he sat up there and proposed to another freaking woman, and you deserve better than this. She pretty much does everything that a sister really should do. She came in hot, but I would say maybe hot at the wrong time. But she just don't like this man for her sister. And I can honestly agree with it. I can agree with it. But baby, she wasn't holding back. And Diamond was like, why can't you accept the fact that I'm just happy because you deserve better? Well, why can't you just meet him? F him. Ever, ever, ever. I'm like, ooh, oh gosh. Okay. So she's like, F this, F that. You hear her screaming to the point where good old Aaron, good old Aaron comes in with his friend, okay? And next thing you know, yeah, she called it the side wig. I haven't seen your video yet, Bill, but yeah, she said the side wig. So yes, Diamond's sister ain't having it. She was not having it. She was not having it. She came in hot. Yes, not the side wig. She came in with a full of piss and vinegar. Sister said, I got my good wig and I'm here to put on the show. Baby, every time she turned her head, that wig was shifting a little bit. I'm surprised it didn't eventually fall off, okay? Like, seriously, she showed her eyes. So I guess he hears the screaming. He comes in And he's looking down at the sister while the sister's looking at Diamond like, yeah, if he gonna start, I'm about to set it off. I'm about to set off. She ready. She is ready. And she's looking at Diamond like, let him say one thing to me. Let him say one thing to me. I tell you, I'm about to go in. And she tall too. She damn near Aaron's height. I didn't realize how tall she was until you compare her to Diamond. I said, damn, she got some height on her. I wouldn't be shocked if she fight men. I wouldn't be shocked at all. So Aaron is looking at her and he was like, well, what's going on here? Whatever the case may be. And the sister, he's like, I haven't even met her, because the friend, Aaron's friend, was like, have you even met her? He was like, no. She said, on social media. Yeah, on social media. And Aaron was like, oh, because when you was dipping yourself in something that you shouldn't have been dipping yourself in, you should have dipped the F out. I said, okay. All right. So your neck starting to snap. Her neck was already snapping. We about to see some bobbleheads. But the problem is, you typically see the bobblehead movement between two women, not a woman and a man. Aaron. So at that point, all hell breaks loose. And baby, I caught this at the perfect time. It was the Matrix. It went into the Matrix mode. Baby, I said, this is the perfect picture on what was about to happen. The clownery and chaos was about to begin. Next thing you know, she stands up and she's like, let's go. And then Aaron, I'm really concerned. I am really concerned, okay, that you decided to start saying you a ugly bitch, you a ugly ass bitch. Really? So he's throwing insults, she throwing insults. Next thing you know, she says, F you, your mammy, and your kids. And he said, what you say about my kids, bitch? What you say about my kids, bitch? I was like, okay, this is about, now mind you, didn't he say in the first episode when Alexis got into it with old boy and he was trying to say, I have daughters and you got to understand that, you have to protect yourself and see, I'm saying, how a man treats you and all of this type of stuff. Mind you, here it is in episode 5. He going in on a woman. Twice. Jody the first time, and now Diamond's own sister. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, really? You clearly, where's your 51 years of wisdom, sir? Where's your 51 years of wisdom? Oh, she does. Oh my gosh, she does. Of course, for those who don't know who Esther is, Esther, for I guess the younger generation, if y'all remember Friday when it was in the beginning and she said, are you ready for Jehovah's return? And literally Ice Cube Craig slammed the door on her and she was like, well, F you. Come on, sister. That's Esther. She do. Oh, fish eye fool. You better say it. Oh, fish eye fool. She do get those vibes. Oh my gosh, the whole episode could have been them arguing. It sure could have, and we would have watched all of it. Sure does. Or Miss Marlene from, is that Love and Marriage Huntsville, Belle? Because I don't watch that show. Maybe those who watch the show would know what you're talking about. Shayla, why was I typing the same thing? Great minds. This was horrible, but I loved it. I think we all loved it. We loved it. I'm just shocked that OWN has this on their network. I'm just shocked. This don't give OWN vibes, okay? Miss Pearly too. Yes, Miss Pearly too. Oh, fish eye fool. So at that point, they're arguing. They trying to hold him back. But I'm like, why do they have to hold you back? You are a grown man. I would like to know how Diamond is going to handle this. How do you guys think Diamond will handle this? And do you think the sister was in the wrong? The sister came in hot, but the sister did have valid points. And she's not feeling him. They clearly got into it before, and she doesn't like the way that he treats her sister. So at this point, whose side are you on in this situation? And can Diamond ends up being with the man that literally will go off like that. Because to me, if he can go off on your sister like that, if y'all get in the argument, who's to say that he won't go off on you like that? You know what I mean? And then not to mention, I would still question him on how he came at Jody. Like, Jody is still someone who could potentially be your child's age. And you talking to her like that? Aaron showed his entire ass this episode. Baby was popping his neck. I was waiting for a freaking finger snapping Z formation. Do you hear me? Shout out to In Living Color. That's what I was looking for. I was waiting for him to snap his fingers. I really was, because I was just like, what am I seeing here? He literally like is queening out right now. It is what it is. I feel like Diamond was wrong for even inviting her sister. She knew how she felt. I think she did it on purpose. She knew it would give a good show. She knew it would give a good show. I really think she did it on purpose, because remember, we was trying to figure out why she was always stirring the pot anyways. I think she's very aware of how things can be handled for television. I think she did it on purpose, just for that reason alone. I just don't know if she knew that Aaron was capable of popping off that way. You know what I mean? I think she enjoys that toxic dynamic. It makes her feel like the man cares. Yeah, because she truly thinks a man crying means that he cares. You know, I used to think that when I was in my early 20s. Oh, he cried. That means he cares for me. But then you realize he cried like that with every female. That don't mean shit. So at the end of the day, she keeps saying that. She even said that to her own daughter. When we first met, he cried. Now I telling the sister, when he first met me, he cried. So like, we cannot ignore the fact that this is the same man who was dating you and ended up proposing to another woman. And the sister said, she made a valid point, because it was no longer green on that side and he couldn't be with that girl. He decided to come back to you like you were sloppy seconds. That's the way I see it too. Because if you was willing to propose to her, why are you coming back to me? Clearly I wasn't the one, but she's willing to be the sloppy seconds. So yeah, but baby, that sister, let's go back to the many faces. The many faces. Do you hear me? She, baby, I was like, oh gosh. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh man. And she got the two-tone hair, which, you know what I'm saying, the copper in the front, the all dark black in the back. Do people? Yeah, yeah, she was ready to go. She was ready to go. Like, you could definitely tell at any moment she could have taken that wig off and was ready to go. She got them cornrows under there. She'd be all right. She will be all right. And the other woman said, no, she won by default. Right. Right. So yeah, but definitely we're gonna see. We're gonna see what the sister is gonna do next episode, because there's definitely gonna be more. Now we also see next episode, Aaron with the door knocker earrings decides to actually do something. I don't know if it's moving his bed, or I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but there was a bed being moved. And then all of a sudden we see that Jody has an issue with Aaron again, with the door knocker earrings again. And he was like, well, I probably, betrayed your trust or something like that. And I'm like, she ain't never trusted you. She don't even like you. So whatever you was doing, just do what the hell you need to do. Look at Esther. Those are the faces I make when my friends are telling me some BS and I had a few drinks. Honestly, I ain't gonna even hold you. I thought she was tipsy. At first, I was like, damn, did she take a couple of shots before she came in there? Because I was like, she was on one. She was on one. Like, she pretty much hugged her sister and sat down and morphed into something else. When you saw her at the door, you was just like, oh, they so sweet. The sisters, they hugging each other. They ain't seeing each other. As soon as she sat down, you started seeing these faces. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So, yeah, I thought she had a few drinks. I really did, honey. I said, okay, well, I was like, she got her liquid courage, and she gonna speak her mind regardless. Um, they gave her some wild Irish rolls and said, "Go." I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if production sat up there and was like, "Here's your shots," or go ahead and go to the bar down at the hotel room or whatever his be at the hotel that you in. Go to the bar and then we'll pick you up. She was ready. She was ready. I was just like, oh no. He definitely could have handled that situation better with Diamond's sister. He could have. Men, I'm sorry, but the men that I grew up around, now don't get me wrong, I grew up around men and I grew up around ninjas. There's a difference, okay? And I think a lot of people know the difference. But men who stand in their manhood, they don't act like that. They really don't. They're not about to sit up there and go back and forth and pop their necks and call women all types of bitches and all that type of stuff. They don't have it in them to do that. They really don't. Now I have seen, I'm saying, arguments in my lifetime between, a husband and a wife, but it doesn't end like it doesn't happen like that. It does not happen like that. Like he was like, you ugly bitch, and this and bitch, and you was dipping in places that you shouldn't have been dipped in. I was like, if you didn't have that bass in your voice, I would have thought that there was two women talking. Seriously. Seriously. That did not sound like that came from a man at all whatsoever. So yeah, he definitely could have did better. But the question is, how is Diamond going to handle it? That's the question. How is Diamond going to handle this rift between the sister and Aaron? And if she's willing to still deal with Aaron after he talked to her sister like that? Because he didn't even, at the end of the day, he could have easily, when he saw that she was not willing to talk, could have said, I just want you to, meet my friend or whatever case may be, babe, when you ready to come, and we can sit down and, all talk or whatever, meet me in the kitchen or something like that. He was ready for the smoke. He was ready for the smoke. So yeah, I didn't like how he did that all, but he did two things that I was giving a side eye to. The way he talked to Jody and the way he talked to the sister. So that to me tells me you have no problem coming for women. You don't have a problem doing that. And yet you have daughters. I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. So I don't know how Aaron is going to redeem himself, Mr. Pastor's kid. And I have daughters. I don't know how he's going to redeem himself. But like I said, you guys before, and no offense to anyone, but I'm sure they have heard this. Pastors' kids are usually the worst kids, just like politician kids, just like police kids. Yeah, they're always usually the worst of the worst. So I'm not shocked by his behavior because I'm sure he was even crazier probably in his adolescence. So with that being said, you guys, I guess we're gonna have to see how Diamond plays this out. I'm kind of curious to see, but I will ask you this. Now, I will give this episode a B plus. It was quite entertaining for the wrong reasons, but quite entertaining. If this is kind of like a voted off the island type of show, and we only can get one standing in the end, okay? If that is the case, who do you think is going to survive? I asked you that before we leave. If it only is one more, you only can have one couple that's left standing. Who is that couple going to be? My guess, Greg and Millie. Or you know what? Josh and Shay. You think it's going to be Josh? See, you think it's going to be Josh and Shay. You don't think it's going to be Greg and Millie. Do you think Greg and Millie, the trauma situation they're talking about next episode, could be the issue? Maybe. I just like Greg and Millie, but Josh and Shay. Josh had me rolling this episode too when they was going back and forth, and he was like, "These fools is crazy." He said, "But I'm gonna eat my food and mind my business." And you just saw him eating while he was watching all of it. Josh is hilarious. So you think Josh and Shay are gonna be the last one standing? Oh, you guys really think Josh and Shay? You know why I was hesitant about Josh and Shay while both of them seem to really be into each other and like no issues? It's because of the distance between them and the kids. I don't think Shay has kids. Josh has kids. And Josh has, I'm assuming, maybe two baby mamas. I don't know. That was the only thing that kind of, okay, so Josh and Shay. You guys are all saying Josh and Shay. Okay. Hey, I'm all for it. I definitely, Greg and Millie, especially because they both, I feel like Greg and Millie are the ones who are evenly yoked. And that's in a lot of ways from, their compatibility. They both live in LA. They both have some trauma they need to heal from and they're willing to heal from. So I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I like Greg and Millie, but I don't know if Millie is healed enough. Well, based on next episode, we don't know if Greg is healed enough. Greg's about to talk about something and he seems to kind of venture off. He doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm kind of curious what they're going to talk about. Josh is always hungry, ain't he though? And don't gain not 1 pound. He don't gain no weight. You be like, good grief. He don't ever gain weight. Let me see. Josh and Shay seem really comfortable with one another. They do. They do. I will say that for them. But then again, I mean, they are the ones who've been dealing with each other online for 12 years. Since she was 18 years old. I don't know how old Josh was. So they probably have dealt with each other as much as they possibly can, the ins and outs via the internet and on the phone and FaceTime. So yeah, they have been dealing with each other the longest. So I would hope that they would be more comfortable with each other. They just needed to meet. Yeah, he is. But he don't gain weight. He look like a small guy. He looked like a small guy. But yeah, okay. So all of you guys are saying Josh and Shay. We will definitely have to see. So we have Diamond and neck snapping Aaron. I don't even want to include Jody and door knocker earrings Aaron. There's no point. And I honestly don't want to say Sandia and Chris. So it would literally have to be Greg and Millie and Josh and Shay. They to me are the two most genuine relationships right now. So yeah, we'll have to see. But it seems to me that every time they see there's an issue or whatever the case may be, they're voting couples off the island. That's what it seems like they're doing. So I'm curious to see who's going to be the last one standing. And does that lead to a marriage? I'm starting to think this is a twist on Love is Blind. The show Love is Blind on Netflix that OWN is trying to do their own Love is Blind. After this, will there be like a wedding? And they have to go further, move in with each other or something like that. Who the hell knows? But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much for coming to my review on the Never Ever Mets. We'll definitely have to see what pops off next episode because they have to show us the end of this fight. They have to show us the end of this fight. They have to, baby. I got my life. I was hoping she was about to sit up there and hit him with her. No, I ain't gonna say I was hoping. I felt like she was going to, though. That big old purse that she had, that Chanel purse. Now, I don't know if it was real or not. I thought she was going to hit him with that purse. I really did. I thought she was about to swing on him in a heartbeat. Damn, they don't have chemistry at all. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys for coming to the review. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Toodles.